Okay, well done. Should take this up for a living. We're making progress here. Like I said, nothing complex or dangerous, and that is exactly the way I want you to approach this next little task.
Indian.
We are going to borrow something off the Navy, an EMP. They're not going to mind. The thing is kept on a plane. The plane is kept on a boat. The boat is kept in the ocean. All very simple, just borrowing something off the government, like a library. You are going to bring the plane. Here, and we should be good to go. All right? Great. Good. Call me.
Yes. Prep mission. Please wait for you to select a high setup. Yeah, yep. Karo bhai. Electromagnetic pulse device shut down power at Human Labs. It's currently installed at Hydra Jump Jet. Okay. अरे चला गया बंदा. लॉल. अब कौन आएगा? 330. भाई ये तो बंदा हैकर लग रहा है. ये करा सकता बढ़िया मिशन. सेलेक्ट टू परचेज एन आर्मर कर तो लिया. डिफिकल्टी और हार्ड पे कर रखा है इसने डिफिकल्टी. ओके. बाहर निकल जाऊं क्या? वो यहाँ तो है नहीं रहा. बाहर ही निकल जाता हूँ. यस.
No way!
भरी है भाई ये गाड़ी.
Oh, I wear one of them all the time.
ग्राफिक्स तो बढ़िया होगा वैसे। मेरा हाई सेटअप करने का क्यों नहीं आ रहा? मुझे अपनी हाई सेटअप करनी है। जूस पी लेते हैं। अरे get out with their files after the MP is triggered. Half the team goes in night vision, the other half holds up with. ओ भाई 1000 1336 लेवल, सारे 100 के ऊपर है। मैं ही 100 से कम लेवल का हूँ। ये यार लग जाए, ये लोग कैरी कर लेंगे मुझे। अरे कर ले भाई ज्वाइन, क्या हो गया? Okay. Owner has left the. अरे वही देख लेते हैं भाई, सेटिंग ही देख लेते हैं कुछ। मेरी मेमोरी कितनी है? सेटिंग्स, ग्राफिक्स, बेस्ट सेटिंग्स ऑफ, अरे सेटिंग्स ऑफ GTA 5 और सोलह 16 जी 16 GB रैम, 8 GB ग्राफ। वो तो इंडियन बंदा ही सिखा रहा है। बेस्ट सेटिंग लो मिड हाई ग्राफिक सेटिंग्स, ये भी देख सकता हूँ मैं। लो एंड पीसी के लिए चलो, एक तो मैं ये वाली वीडियो देखूंगा, ये सही लग रही है मुझे, और ये वाली देख लेंगे, 1 साल पुरानी है सिर्फ। पहले तो ये देखते हैं।
अबे तू किधर है? नंबर 12 MG रोड यानी महात्मा गांधी रोड, सिग्नल से क्रॉस, वहाँ पे चाय वाला होगा क्रॉस।
So hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Epic Hood। आज का ये एपिसोड आपके GTA 5 के गेम प्ले एक्सपीरियंस को पूरी तरह से चेंज कर देने वाला है। सो अभी मुझे बहुत सारे लोग मुझसे पूछते हैं कि यार क्या ग्राफिक सेटिंग्स रखनी चाहिए, कौन सी ऐसी सेटिंग्स है जिसमें GTA 5 की परफॉर्मेंस सबसे ज्यादा अच्छी रहती है। तो यार आपको तो पता है कि कितने सारे नए लोग GTA 5 ऑनलाइन खेलना शुरू कर चुके हैं, और इसीलिए मैंने सोचा कि क्यों ना एक सिंपल वीडियो की जाए जिसमें हम बेसिक सेटिंग्स को गेम की आप कैसे रखें और कौन सी सेटिंग्स को ऑन रखना चाहिए, कौन सी सेटिंग्स को ऑफ रखना चाहिए, जिससे आपकी गेम प्ले एक्सपीरियंस बहुत हद तक इंप्रूव हो जाती है। और आज के इस वीडियो में हम वही सारी सेटिंग्स के बारे में जानने वाले हैं। सो अगर आपकी भी गेम में कोई लैग, कोई इशू, कोई ऐसी ग्लिच या सेटिंग्स जो आपको समझ में नहीं आ रही कि क्या करना, आई थिंक दिस इज द राइट वीडियो फॉर यू। वी आर हियर टू सॉल्व ऑल सच आपका गेम प्ले एक्सपीरियंस पॉसिबल। I'll give you a brief of what system I'm using। मैं GTA 5 अपने लैपटॉप पे प्ले करता हूँ, जिस लैपटॉप की कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है NVIDIA GTX 1660 Ti Max Q 16GB ऑफ रैम, AMD Ryzen 7 4000 सीरीज के चिपसेट के साथ। मैंने आपको ये इसलिए बताया ताकि आप मेरे सिस्टम स्पेसिफिकेशन को और मेरे इन गेम ग्राफिक सेटिंग्स को मैच करके एक आइडिया लगा पाओ कि आपके सिस्टम की स्पेसिफिकेशन के हिसाब से क्या सेटिंग्स आपको ऑन रखनी चाहिए, क्या सेटिंग्स आपको मेरी जैसी रखनी चाहिए या डिफरेंट रखनी चाहिए। सो लेट्स क्विकली जंप इनटू द सेटिंग्स पार्ट ऑफ इट। सो मैं सबसे पहले जो जाने वाला हूँ, मैं जाता हूँ सेटिंग में। सो वी विल जस्ट प्रेस एस्केप, विल गो टू सेटिंग्स एंड विल गो टू द फर्स्ट वन, दैट इज ग्राफिक्स सेटिंग्स। सो ग्राफिक्स सेटिंग्स में जो सबसे पहली चीज आपको दिख रही है कि आपको एक वीडियो मेमोरी का स्लॉट दिया हुआ है, जो कि टोटल वीडियो मेमोरी और अभी आपकी कितनी वीडियो मेमोरी यूज हो रही है वो आपको बता रहा है। सो जैसे मेरे इस केस में वीडियो मेमोरी मेरी 2675 MB यूज हो रही है आउट ऑफ 6143 MB। सो इसको कैसे कर सकते हो? तो फर्स्ट सेटिंग जो आपको दिखाई दे रहा है यहाँ पे वो है इग्नोर सजेस्टेड लिमिट्स। ऑलवेज कीप दिस ऑन ऑफ, बिकॉज अगर आप इग्नोर करना शुरू कर देते हैं अपने सजेस्टेड लिमिट को, तो मैंने बहुत सारे लोगों ने मुझे बताया कि उनके लैपटॉप में हीटिंग इश्यूज आने लगते हैं, आपके लैपटॉप का ओवरऑल जो ड्यूरेबिलिटी
नो। अरे जल्दी आ भाई, एक तो इसके ना सर्वर बड़े खराब है। अबे ये कहाँ मारा है मुझे?
है और परफॉर्मेंस वो बहुत हद तक डिक्रीज हो जाता है, और ऑब्वियसली आई मीन दैट इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू योर गेम्स परफॉर्मेंस, और वो आपके गेम परफॉर्मेंस को भी इवेंचुअली डिक्रीज कर देता है। सो कीप दैट ignore suggested limit settings on off. The next one is DirectX version. So DirectX version, अगर आपके पास कोई बहुत पुराना लैपटॉप है, say 4-5 years पुराना लैपटॉप है, then only you need to change this. Otherwise you keep it on the maximum or the highest DirectX version which is available, जो कि आपके में DirectX 11 होगा, and अगर उससे ऊपर का कोई version है तो why not use that. So the next one what we have is resolution. So resolution again depends from laptop to laptop, display to display, but आपकी सिस्टम का, आपके डिस्प्ले का जो resolution है by default वो यहाँ पे वही शो कर रहा होगा। अगर वो नहीं है तो match that with your resolution। जैसे इस केस में
भाई पका रहा है
फुल एचडी रखो, वो ऑटोमेटिकली एडजस्ट कर देता है आपकी गेम के एस्पेक्ट, डिस्प्ले टू डिस्प्ले 20 हर्ट्ज नॉर्मल लैपटॉप। और
मेन
लैपटॉप नेक्स्ट टाइम
सेटिंग्स
अगर
में आना
आपको
भाई,
relation to the
इसने बंदे ने 5 मिनट से गांड मारी हुई है, लिटरली 5 मिनट बकचोदी मारी है इसने, तभी इसकी वीडियो इतनी लंबी है, वरना 10 मिनट से कम में इसकी वीडियो निकल जाती।
the higher the better. आप 120 hertz ले, well and good 144 hertz ले, that is even brilliant. So the next one that we have is
यार समझा रहा जैसे पता नहीं क्या रॉकेट
FXAA.
साइंस
So
हो।
what actually FXAA does? So what FXAA does is it increases the edginess and the graphics of your gameplay experience. So आपके गेम में visually जो edges होते हैं graphics के उसको बहुत हद तक increase कर देता है. But I'd like to tell you that if you have a system जिसमें 4 GB की graphics से less graphics है, then keep this setting on off because this is gonna require a lot of your graphic or video memory resources which you can save and use later on texture quality and other quality related to reflection and all that. So अगर आपके पास 4 GB से कम का कोई graphics है तो turn this off, otherwise you can keep it on. The next is MSAA. So what MSAA does, it is similar to FXAA and it helps you fix the edges in the game, but it consumes and it requires a lot of GPU power. So again, I would say if you have a graphics memory which is less than 4 GB, do not turn this on. The next is VSync. VSync should be off if you have a normal PC, if you do not have a dedicated gaming setup. So because what this does is adds an input lag in any online version of the game, or even offline version में भी आपको एक input lag दिखाई देगा. तो अगर आपके पास एक नॉर्मल सेटअप है गेमिंग के लिए जो कि डेडिकेटेड गेमिंग सेटअप नहीं है तो कीप दिस थिंग ऑन ऑफ, और अगर आपको एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है तो आप इसको ऑन करके देखो, अगर आपको कोई लैग एक्सपीरियंस होता है तो उसे ऑफ करो, अदरवाइज यू कैन कीप दिस थिंग ऑन, बट अगेन दिस रिक्वायर्स अ लॉट ऑफ वीडियो रिसोर्सेज. द नेक्स्ट वन वी हैव हियर is population density, population variety and distance scaling. So ये तीनों चीजें डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल है आपकी वीडियो मेमोरी से. अगर आप जितनी ज्यादा डिस्टेंस स्केलिंग रखते हो उतनी ज्यादा आपकी वीडियो मेमोरी यूज होगी. पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी, पॉपुलेशन वैरायटी भी उसी हिसाब से है. मैंने फुल पे रखा है बिकॉज आई हैड ample amount of unused video memory, इसलिए मैंने उनको फुल पे रखा है. बट आप उसको 1-2 यूनिट कम भी रख सकते हो एंड इट एक्चुअली डज नॉट मेक अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस इन द गेम अगर आप उसको थोड़ा सा रिड्यूस करो. बट हाँ, अगर आप उसको बहुत ज्यादा रिड्यूस कर दोगे, लाइक डिस्टेंस स्केलिंग को अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा रिड्यूस कर दोगे, देन आपको अपैरेंट डिफरेंसेस दिखने लगेंगे गेम में. जब आप फ्लाई करो या आप दूर तक एम करने की कोशिश करो तो वो जो विजिबिलिटी होती है दूर की वो कम दिखाई देती है. दैट इज कॉल्ड डिस्टेंस स्केलिंग. The next is texture quality, shader quality, and shadow quality, and reflection quality in itself. So what I was earlier mentioning that you can save your video memory on FXAA, MSAA, and VSync, and use all that video memory resources and graphic resources in keeping the highest possible settings of these texture quality, shader quality, shadow quality, and reflection quality. Because ये सारी चीजें directly आपकी गेम की graphics को बहुत ज़्यादा improve कर देती है. Like reflection quality, जो आप कार ड्राइव कर रहे हो या कोई प्लेन ड्राइव कर रहे हो तो सराउंडिंग का जो रिफ्लेक्शन आता है उस कार पे या प्लेन पे, that really increases the game's overall experience, and I think you should keep it on high or very high, whichever is suiting your video memory. So you should keep that in mind. Use the best possible settings in these 4 options. बाकी की आप reduce कर दो, उससे उतना ज़्यादा impact नहीं पड़ता है, but these should be on top. So the next one we have, so if we talk about shadow quality, this is one of the most graphic extensive setting in the game. You can keep it on normal, and अगर आप इसको नॉर्मल मोड पे भी रखते हो तो आपकी जो गेम प्ले एक्सपीरियंस है शैडो की वो बाय डिफॉल्ट बहुत अच्छी है. मैंने इसको हाई पे इसलिए रखा है क्योंकि मेरा सिस्टम सपोर्ट कर रहा है. बट अगर आप इसको नॉर्मल पे भी रख के खेलते हो देन यू विल एंड अप गेटिंग अ गुड शैडो क्वालिटी इन द गेम. आई विल आल्सो रिपीट वंस अगेन दैट इट इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट ग्राफिक्स इंटेंसिव सेटिंग्स इन द एंटायर गेम, सो यू शुड कीप दैट इन माइंड. And keep it on normal most of the times. Next one we have here is reflection MSAA. I would just say turn this off because this does not have any impact on your game's graphics visuals. So आप इसको off रखो, and it does again requires a lot of video memory and resources. So keep it off on your game's graphics visuals. Reflection MSAA, I would and keep it on normal most of the times. Next one we have here is reflection MSAA. I would just say turn this off because this does does not have any impact on your game's graphics visuals. So आप इसको off पे रखो, and it does again requires a lot of video memory and resources. So keep it off. Again, the next one that we have is water quality and particle quality. तो by default इस गेम की जो water quality and particle quality है वो normal पे रहती है और वो काफ़ी हद तक better है. But again, I would say अगर आपके पास video memory है to play around with it, you can keep it on high and very high. जैसे मैंने रखा है, आप उसको दोनों को very high पे रख सकते हो या दोनों को high पे रख सकते हो based on your video capabilities, video memory capabilities. What I say really is having some tailor-made experience is the best. Having some tailor-made experiments is the best way to figure out what settings are suitable for your gameplay. So you should always keep on trying and experimenting certain settings. The next is soft shadow. You can keep this on sharp. Soft shadows, as I previously mentioned.
Impressive. All this is fine. But do you have the necessary skills to do this?
Do not have any advantage in the game, so you can keep it on sharp or for your gameplay. So you should always keep on trying and experimenting certain settings. The next is soft shadow. You can keep this on sharp. Soft shadows, as I previously mentioned, do not have any advantage in the game, so you can keep it on sharp or softer. I think the shadow in GTA 5 is ignored by us anyway, so you should keep it on. Not on the maximum settings. You can keep it on normal, like मैंने softer पे रखा हुआ है इसको. So post FX should be normal. If you have a mid-end device, that is, if you have a system that is less than 6 GB or of graphics or video memory, then आप उसको normal पे रखो. I think it would work fine for you. Motion blur का मैं खुद बहुत बड़ा fan नहीं हूँ, right? Because motion blur तब काम में आता है जब you are playing a first-person shooter game जहाँ पे आपको काफ़ी screen movements होते हैं. But मैं generally GTA 5 को first-person में नहीं खेलता हूँ, इसलिए मैंने motion blur को on नहीं कर रखा है. Again, ये ज़्यादा video memory utilize नहीं करता, but I choose not to use motion blur because I don't really like it. If you like it, you can use it. In-game depth of field effect is the most important setting you should turn on because यही वो setting है जो GTA 5 को पुराने GTA के गेम्स से डिफरेंशिएट करता है, जो कि 3D गेम्स थे, लाइक आपके सैन एंड्रियास हो गए या वाइस सिटी हो गए. ये जो डेप्थ ऑफ फील्ड इफेक्ट है, जो रियलिटी ग्राफिक्स की हम बात करते हैं, वो उसमें काफ़ी हद तक इम्प्रूव होता है. दैट इज़ वाई यू शुड कीप दिस थिंग ऑन इन गेम. इट इज़ मैंडेटरी, यू शुड कीप दिस थिंग ऑन. इसको ऑफ मत करना. सो अगेन, एन आइसोट्रॉपिक फिल्टरिंग शुड बी ऑफ. आपके केस में अगर आपके पास एक हाई एंड सिस्टम नहीं है, ऑन कर सकते हो अगर आपके पास हाई एंड सिस्टम है. अगेन यू शुड रिमेंबर दैट अगर ये ऑफ है तो आपको बेटर FPS मिलता है. तो अगर आप इसे हाई एंड सिस्टम में भी ऑफ रखते हो तो आपकी जो FPS है वो बहुत हद तक इंक्रीज हो जाती है, विच यू विल I think it is something that you should do. You should keep it on off. मैंने यहाँ पे on रखा है because I'm doing some experiments with it. But मैं जब भी इसे ऑफ करता हूँ I get even better FPS in the game. Ambient ऑक्यूलेशन क्या है? एम्बिएंट ऑक्यूलेशन वो है कि जब कोई सॉफ्ट लाइट या लाइट किसी भी सरफेस पे हिट करके रिफ्लेक्ट होती है तो उस रिफ्लेक्शन की क्वालिटी को ये चीज़ कंट्रोल करती है. आई कीप इट ऑन हाई. यू शुड कीप इट ऑन, इफ़ यू डू नॉट हैव अ वेरी हाई एंड PC, you can keep it on normal settings. That would be, I think, ideal or the best possible scenario for having a better gameplay experience. Tessellation, same as above. Enable it if you have 4 GB or higher graphics. Otherwise, do not use it on low-end devices. So the next one, what we'll do, we'll go to advanced graphics. So long shadow, high resolution shadows, high detail streaming while flying, extended distance scaling और frame scaling mode. ये चारों चीज़ें क्या है मैं आपको बहुत क्विकली बता देता हूँ. तो लॉन्ग शैडो है कि आपको जो गेम में शैडो क्वालिटी मिलती है वो बहुत अच्छी मिलती है. आप इसको ऑफ रख सकते हो अगर आपके पास honestly इसमें in game में कोई there is no advantages of using this thing, but I'm just using it because I had the memory to play around with. High resolution shadow by default it defines itself that the shadow quality is again higher resolution. आप इसको normally आप इसे off पे रख सकते हो. Again ये काफ़ी ज़्यादा GPU process को utilize करता है, so you should keep that on off if you do not have a high-end PC. The next is high detail streaming while flying. आप इसको off रख सकते हो. अगर if you are not into a lot of flying in the game then you can keep it on off. Generally it helps you get more FPS while streaming, but while flying or while streaming. So but you should keep that in mind. It again utilizes a lot of GPU memory and power, so you should keep it on off if you don't have a dedicated gaming setup. Extended distance scaling मैंने यहाँ पे like full नहीं रखा हुआ है because मुझे लगता है कि full पे रखने पे और 1-2 यूनिट कम रखने में उतना ज़्यादा massive difference नहीं पड़ता है, but video memory काफ़ी हद तक कम utilize होती है. That's why I have not kept it on full. I've just kept it 1 or 2 units less. Frame scaling mode, disable it. I've also kept it on off. It requires a lot of resources and इसका बहुत बड़ा कोई graphic में improvement नहीं होता है, so keep that on off. So these were the basic settings in the game, and if you use मिलेगा that would be much better.
हेल्प नहीं हुई वैसे इस चीज से लिटरली.
Over 3,500 brands at 50 to 90% off this season with the Ajio All-Star Sale.
Yo guys, what is going on and welcome back to the channel. In this GTA Online video, I'm going to be showing you guys some of the best graphic settings that you guys can have. I will be showing you guys some low end, mid end and also high end graphic settings depending on what your PC can handle. But just before we jump into the video guys, we just have a quick word from our sponsor. If you guys looking to buy cheap, this is the link in the description. Now that we're back guys, we will be starting things off with the low end graphic settings. Now I would only recommend these settings if you guys are playing on a lower end system. Also guys, feel free to use the timestamps to skip ahead to your desired graphic settings. But the first option we get here is the DirectX version. Now this really comes down to what operating system you guys are on. But if you guys are on Windows 10 or don't really load in too well, but altogether the game runs really smooth and is probably one of the better options if you guys are off for FPS. Now guys, we will be moving over to the mid-end graphics settings. Now we will be skipping over the first 6 settings here as all of these 6 settings stay the same. So to begin with the mid-end graphics settings, you guys want to turn on the FXAA option. For the MSAA, you guys want to set this to ×4, although you guys can also experiment with going higher. If you guys have the option to turn on Nvidia TXAA, I would keep it off, but once again try experiment with it on and off just to see what works best for you. Moving down to the VSync option, I would keep this off now unless you guys are having serious graphical issues, for example a lot of screen tearing. For the population density, I would put this around about half a bar. This seems to be a quality, shadow quality and also the put this on high. Once again FPS. Now guys, we will be moving over to the mid-end graphics settings. Now we will be skipping over the first 6 settings here as all of these 6 settings stay the same. So to begin with the mid-end graphics settings, you guys want to turn on the FXAA option. For the MSAA, you guys want to set this to ×4, although you guys can also experiment with going higher. If you guys have the option to turn on Nvidia TXAA, I would keep it off, but once again try experiment with it on and off just to see what works works best for you. Moving on to the VSync option, I would keep this off now, unless you guys are having serious graphical issues, for example a lot of screen tearing. For the population density, I would put this around about half a bar. This seems to be a really nice standard, not only for the population density but also the population variety and also the distance scaling. For the texture quality, set this to high. For the shader quality, set this to high as well. This will make your game look a lot better than having this on normal. For the shadow quality, set this to normal, although depending on your system specs, you guys can set this to high as well. Put the reflection quality to high and also set the reflection MSAA to ×8. You guys will notice a massive difference with the reflection quality set to high, with the reflection MSAA also set to ×8. Moving on to the water quality, you guys want to set this to very high. It doesn't really affect our video FPS. Now guys, we will be moving over to the mid-end graphics settings. Now we will be skipping over the first 6 settings here, as all of these 6 settings stay the same. So to begin with the mid-end graphics settings, you guys want to turn on the FXAA option. For the MSAA, you guys want to set this to ×4, although you guys can also experiment with going higher. If you guys have the option to turn on NVIDIA TXAA, I would keep it off, but once again try experiment with it on and off just to see what works best for you. Moving on to the VSync option, I would keep this off now, unless you guys are having serious graphical issues, for example a lot of screen tearing. For the population density, I would put this around about half a bar. This seems to be a really nice standard, not only for the population density but also the population variety and also the distance scaling. For the texture quality, set this to high. For the shader quality, set this to high as well. This will make your game look a lot better than having this on normal. For the shadow quality, set this to normal, although depending on your system specs, you guys can set this to high as well. Put the reflection quality to high and also set the reflection MSAA to ×8. You guys will notice a massive difference with the reflection quality set to high, with the reflection MSAA also set to ×8. Moving on to the water quality, you guys want to set this to very high. It doesn't really affect our video memory or even our FPS that much. You guys want to do the same to the particles quality as well. And for the grass quality, you guys can either set this to ultra or just high. For me personally, I like to set this to ultra. Once again, it doesn't really make much of a difference. For the soft shadow options, I like to keep this on the softest. But then again, this is something I don't really mess around with much. You guys might see some better performance with the other options in this category. For the post effects, I like to keep this on ultra as well. Once again, just like the low end graphics, I keep the motion blur strength all the way turned down. For the anisotropic filtering, I keep this on ×16, and for ambient occlusion, I keep this on high. And last but not least guys, the tessellation, I keep this on very high. This will make the game look better quality wise and will altogether be more visually appealing. Now just like before, I will show you guys what this looks like in game after applying these settings. You guys can see that we get a much on for the as it can.
भैया कहाँ हो?
आ रहे हैं मैम, रास्ते में हैं, 5 मिनट.
Hey boys, it's Armnan. So today I was requested a few times to go over my settings in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you didn't know, I play on PC, though we actually have the ability to change our settings unlike you guys on console. Sorry, I wish you guys could change your settings, that would be great. But this video is for my PC guys, and if you play on console and you're interested anyways, then you can watch too. So let's get into it here. We're going to head into these settings here. I'm going to press escape and go to settings, go to graphics, and here we are. As you can see, it has my video memory up at the top here. That's your maximum memory on your graphics card. Just so you know, just because your max memory isn't maxed out, it doesn't mean that your graphics card can handle being maxed out. It will still run terribly if you max out your settings, even if your graphics card is like insane. Even if you have the brand new like 3090, you cannot play Grand Theft Auto on maxed out settings at 1080p at 60 FPS. It will not work. So with that being said, let's get into it. As you can see, I have it in full screen mode here and 1920 by 1080. That's my monitor's resolution. 144 hertz, that's my refresh rate on my monitor. So if I had a 60 hertz monitor, the maximum amount of FPS that I could actually see with my own 2 physical eyes would be 60, but because I have a 144 hertz monitor, I can see 144 FPS with my own 2 eyes. Alright, now getting into the more interesting settings, we have FXAA here. I have that turned on my setup. My MSAA is on ×2. My NVIDIA TXAA is off. So basically what all of these mean is the AA stands for anti-aliasing, which basically means, I'll show you guys actually. If I have my anti-aliasing settings set way higher, the corners of this desk that I'm staring at right now would be a little bit more crisp. They'd be a little bit nicer, and you can especially tell it with the lettering, as you can see here on the Winnipeg Mafia. If I come right up to the W there, you guys can see, right? There's all the little like edges and stuff like that. If I had my settings higher in the FXAA, MSAA, and NVIDIA TXAA or whatever, those lines would not be there. It would be like perfectly straight. But however, if you have your settings really high in there, your game will run terribly. Even if you have an RTX 3090, it doesn't matter. So getting back into the settings menu here under graphics, so we're back down to the NVIDIA part here. I have my VSync turned on. I have pause game on focus loss turned on. I don't know what that does, to be completely honest with you. I really don't know. So this is interesting right here. This is only in single player that this will be actually affected, but population density, population variety, and distance scaling. I think that distance scaling might actually have an effect in online. I'm not 100% sure though. I haven't tested it, so don't quote me on it. However, these two are limited to just single player. So population density, that's how many civilians, how many cars are on the streets of GTA in single player. Population variety is how many different types of cars and different types of civilians will be around in single player. So kind of interesting, I don't know, not really. Now, this is my actual graphics settings here. Starting off with the top, we have my texture quality, which is set to very high. That is the highest option that you can go. Same with shader quality is very high, and shadow quality is also very high, as well as reflection quality. You can up that to ultra actually, which I just noticed. So that's cool. It probably makes your game run a little bit worse. Somebody was asking in the comments about my reflections and how they look so good. Only because my reflection quality is really high, and probably more so because I have my reflection MSAA on 4 times. Those are really important if you're trying to get your cars and stuff to have that reflectiveness and make the paint like kind of look more realistic. Next up we have water quality. It's on high. I could go very high with it, but I don't really care. Particles quality high as well, and same with grass quality. Now grass quality will actually destroy your computer. If you put it on ultra, your game will run so badly, it's actually unbelievable. So keep that in mind. Keep your grass quality a little bit lower because it still looks good, but it won't destroy your game and make it unplayable. So keep that in mind. For shadows, you can go higher than softest. You can go AMD CHS or NVIDIA PCSS. Don't really know what the difference is between those. I would assume you would require probably a component like a graphics card, like an NVIDIA graphics card or an AMD graphics card to be able to run those. So in theory, I can probably run this either that or it's just a much higher setting. So I keep mine on softest. It looks good enough for me. Post effects, I have that on very high. I could probably turn that down. I'm not 100% sure what that honestly does, but I like the look of my game right now, so I'm not really going to change it. Motion blur strength, I have that all the way off because I don't like motion blur. I like to be able to see what I'm, doing. Next up, in-game depth of field effects, I have that turned on. I think that's for when you're like in the sniper scope, you're staring, the things that are further away from you like are sort of clear that you zoomed in on, but everything that's sort of like to the right and left and all around the scope is kind of blurry. I think that's what that does. Now, for my regular anti-softronic filtering, I have that on 8 times. Could go to 16. That will also destroy my computer. I have my ambient occlusion turned on to high. No idea what that does, guys, to be honest with you. And my tessellation is on very high. So I hope that helped you out if you are interested in changing your graphics settings a bit with your computer to experiment with what you like. I've experimented quite a bit and these settings work for me. I can record and play the game at 60 FPS or more, like usually about like 70 or 80. And the game looks great and it runs fine, so I'm happy with it. I probably could tweak it a little bit and maybe get some settings that are a little bit higher, but I like the stability that it's on right now. It runs very well for the vast majority of the time, so really I have no complaints. In my advanced graphics, I have long shadows turned on, high resolution shadows, and high detail streaming while flying, as well as extended distance scaling and extended shadows distance I have turned all the way off because if you have those higher, your game will run at you know, a reduced performance, I guess. It says right here, changing these options may cause reduced game performance. So these settings probably do a little bit more, make your game not, you know, run the best. So be wary of those. You know, probably if I turned all of these off, I could probably turn up some of my other graphics settings, but I'm happy with how my game looks, like I said. Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much it. If this helped you out, leave a like. If not, dislike. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you guys are new, if somehow this is the first video of mine that you're seeing. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.
Nagpur oranges, ekdam fresh.
Over 200 fruits and vegetables delivered fresh to your home. Download Zepto, 10-minute grocery delivery.
Doing. Next up, I like the stabilizing as well as the vast majority, usually about like 7. Tweak it a little, the stability time, so really I have no complaints. In my advanced graphics, I have long shadows turned on, high resolution shadows, and high detail streaming while flying, as well as extended distance scaling and extended shadows distance I have turned all the way off, because if you have those higher, your game will run.
यह दुनिया एक जंगल है और सब
one or two a unit, so you should keep that on. Same as above, enable it if you have. So the next one, what we'll do, we'll go to advanced graphics. So long shadow, high resolution shadows, high detail streaming while flying, extended distance scaling और frame scaling mode. ये चारों चीज़ें क्या है मैं आपको बहुत क्विकली बता देता हूँ. तो लॉन्ग शैडो है कि आपको जो गेम में शैडो क्वालिटी मिलती है वो बहुत अच्छी मिलती है. आप इसको ऑफ रख सकते हो अगर आपके पास honestly, honestly, इसमें in game में कोई there is no advantages of using this thing, but I'm just using it because I had the memory to play around with. High resolution shadow by default it defines itself that the shadow quality is again higher resolution. आप इसको normally आप इसे off पे रख सकते हो. Again ये काफ़ी ज़्यादा GPU process को utilize करता है, so you should keep that on off if you do not have a high-end PC. The next is high detail streaming while flying. आप इसको off रख सकते हो. अगर if you are not into a lot of flying in the game, then you can keep it on off. Generally, it helps you get more FPS while streaming, but while flying or while streaming. So, but you should keep that in mind. It again utilizes a lot of GPU memory and power, so you should keep it on off if you don't have a dedicated gaming setup. Extended distance scaling मैंने यहाँ पे like full नहीं रखा हुआ है because मुझे लगता है कि full पे रखने पे और 1-2 यूनिट कम रखने में उतना ज़्यादा massive difference नहीं पड़ता है, but video memory काफ़ी हद तक कम utilize होती है. That's why I have not kept it on full. I've just kept it 1 or 2 units less. Frame scaling mode, disable it. I've also kept it on off. It requires a lot of resources and इसका बहुत बड़ा कोई graphic में improvement नहीं होता है, so keep that on off. So these were the basic settings in the game, and if you use these settings wisely, I mean आपकी जो gameplay experience है कोई lag नहीं होगा. The FPS that you will get, well, जो FPS आपको game में मिलेगा that would be much better. And
अरे बोल रहा हूँ माइंड गेमिंग भाई, वेलकम टू दिस स्ट्रीम. क्या हाल चाल? सेटिंग्स कर रहा था यार मैं, स्ट्रीम नहीं पढ़ रहा, चैट नहीं पढ़ी मैंने, सॉरी. मैं वो सेटिंग्स देख रहा था GTA 5 की.
Excuse me, friend. Culpa mia. My fault, okay?
चलो भाई अपनी हाइस्ट सेटअप करते हैं। वैसे तो मैंने करी थी, लेकिन पता नहीं फिर से क्या हो गया, सारी हाइस्ट खत्म हो गई। Oh, nice. लॉन्चिंग सेशन, चलो भाई अपनी हाइस्ट सेटअप करते हैं अपार्टमेंट में, फिर बड़ी बड़ी हाइस्ट कर पाएंगे। आ गए बंदे। ओ सोनू सूद लग रहा है ये तो। लॉल, लेस्टर आ गया होगा। $25,000।
Yeah, welcome, welcome. So glad you could make it.
Fuck?
Now, haven't we met already? Huh? Have you met Ron? Have you? Well, either way, it doesn't matter. Congratulations! Huh? You all now have jobs in a startup. This is it. Trevor Phillips Industries.
Okay.
Welcome aboard.
भाई बहुत देर तक ना पकाएंगे लिटरली।
I am not a drug dealer. I am not a pusher.
Yeah, we're locavores, huh? Recyclers! Yeah, we think very green. We take the drugs that already exist in America and we add value to their supply chain. And that is what all of you will be doing. Now, first off,
fuck?
we will be borrowing a
Aggressive
couple bricks
banda
of
bhai to.
cocaine from some juiced up frat boys on a yacht off the coast. Then, we are gonna beat the Vagos to their supply of Molly pills. Now, our guys do pickup and trash trucks, and so are you. Then, we're gonna be sneaking in to the backyard of the lost MCs. And then we're gonna take their meds that they've stashed in something. So, there we have it. We're gonna get the meds, we're gonna get the pills, we're gonna get the cocaine, or we could get the pills, the meds, the cocaine, fucking whatever! You're gonna get it, you're gonna bring it to Ron, and then we're gonna fucking get moving!
Fuck bhai. Stick up some frat boy dealers on yacht of the coast. चलो ये वाला कर लेते हैं। बहुत सड़ी हो के इधर आ जाओ कोई। ये दोनों नूब लग रहे हैं मुझे बिल्कुल, जैसे अभी भी आए हैं इस गेम के अंदर, पता ही नहीं है इन्हें कुछ। क्या बकचोदी मचा रहे हैं ये लोग। माँ चुदाओ बहन चोद, तुम जैसे चूतिए हो तो बहन चोद टाइम ही वेस्ट हो जाए इंसान का। फक, गंडुओं को खेलना ही नहीं है, बकचोदी पेलनी है, वरना सबको अकल होती है। ऐसे कुछ वो बड़ी बात नहीं है, सबको अकल होती है, बकचोदी पेल रहे हैं बस। हैकर
I've never felt so close to the possibility of disclosure. The Nephilim, the giant.
भाई इतनी बकचोदी है भाई जीटीए के अंदर, बहुत टाइम लगता है भाई।
Match found.
Deathmatch. Warm up.
Never show weakness. Ever.
Fight!
I'll cut through. Anyone else?
अरे तेज हमेशा प्रिकॉशंस के लिए
Lights out. You're done.
Dominating.
ट्राई हार्ड जनता है वेंचर
remaining.
ट्राई हार्डर है भाई ये सेज
One kill remaining.
Not bad.
जनता ही ट्राई हार्ड थी
Match found. Death match. Warm up.
Dev and Divanshi, so hello, welcome to the stream. Please shout out my name. Thereby shout out to you. Thank you for joining this stream, bro. It's okay. Arey. सबसे खतरनाक पोजीशन.
I'll pick them apart. You clean up whatever's left.
Fight!
Jump.
He's fucking just. अरे कमाल की बात है, एक गोली नहीं लगी मुझसे.
Dominating.
फिनिक्स ने कैसे निकाली किल? कैसे निकाल लिए इसने किल? जी
Don't get up. Die. 3.
उसने वहां से कैसे दिया मुझे स्पैम?
Dominating.
अरे भैया पता नहीं कैसे मार रहे हैं ये लोग. टाइम अच्छा चल रहा है ना.
You're done. Lights out. 3. 4.
हमेशा किल जो है हमेशा हेड क्लिक करती है हमेशा. Fucking.
Anyone else? Dead. 3. 4.
Yeah.
Remaining.
कैसे निकल रहा है ये आगे? हमें तो बंदे ही ना ही मिल रहे. हमें बंदे ही नहीं मिल रहे हैं. बहुत तगड़ा कंपटीशन है.
Remaining.
मैच का मार तो रहा है. मेरा गेम अनलकी रहा है इसके अंदर.
One kill remaining.
कैसे निकाला है भाई? मैं अनलकी रहा हूँ इस गेम के अंदर, मेरे को नहीं मिले बंदे, मैं ढूंढता रह गया, मेरे को बंदे नहीं मिले। ये लोग लकी थे, फिनिक्स को शुरू से दबा के बंदे मिले और इसने मारे भी। शिट, एक नंबर की शिट था फिनिक्स। मेरे को बंदे ही नहीं मिले, लिटरली मैं ढूंढता रह गया, मुझे बंदे ही नहीं मिल रहे।
Match found.
लक है, सब लक की बात है। एक ना कई बार आपका ना ग्लिच भी हो जाता है, कि जैसे ग्लिच इन द सेंस आप ना वो जगह भी ढूंढ लेते हो कि मतलब क्या कहते हैं, बार बार बंदे स्पॉन होते हो और आप उन्हें मारते रहते हो, स्पॉन होते रहते हो, मारते रहते हो आप, तो वो एक पल आता है, वो ढूंढ लेते हो आप। पता नहीं कहाँ से निकाल रहा था किल, क्या कर रहा था। जहां पर मैं एक बार भी हेवन स्पॉन नहीं हुआ, एक बार भी वहां पर सिटी स्पॉन नहीं हुआ कि वहां बंदे किल मिल जाए मुझे अच्छे खासे, एक बार भी हेवन स्पॉन नहीं हुआ। फकिंग ऐसे लोफर बंदे चढ़ते हैं ना सर पे बेंच, जो बड़ा गुस्सा आता है। क्या करें, मैंने अच्छा खेला, मैं बढ़िया खेला मैं। किस्मत में भी बहुत बात होती है, उस बंदे को ज्यादा बंदे मिले और उसने उस चीज का फायदा उठाया, मेरे को मिले ही नहीं बंदे। मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ, मैं भग रहा हूँ इधर से उधर, मुझे बंदे ही नहीं मिल रहे, मुझे स्पॉन होते हुए बंदे ही नहीं मिल रहे। फकिंग चूतियापा।
Match found. Spike rush.
Dad! My sister from another mister. Let's have some fun, yeah? Grenade! Bomb buddy out.
Reload.
You say something? Sorry, ear's still ringing. No.
Don't let that neon get around you.
Help! Bomb bug out.
Time to jump.
Spike planted.
Satchel out.
60 Rina.
Enemy remaining.
Here.
Last round in the half.
I like you guys a lot better when we don't lose.
Yes.
Where is everyone hiding?
Spike planted.
Cutting through.
The hunt begins.
One enemy remaining.
Cage trigger. Cage trigger.
Reloading. Good God. I'll handle this. Portal closed.
Switching sides. Match point.
Gotta go. Whatever they're doing, I like it.
Time to jump.
One enemy remaining. Attackers win.
Oops.
I'm done here.
Like I was the stronger one.
Match found.
They have no idea how heartless I am.
Spike rush.
Let that Sova find me. Whatever. It'll help him look death in the face. I'm out of here.
I'll find you. Reloading. One enemy remaining. Cutting their vision.
That was good.
What's
Another
up?
round, yeah?
What's up? Go, go, go.
We will survive. Feeling sight. Cutting their vision.
Last player standing. Last round before the switch.
I got your back. Just, you know, from the front. Gotta go. Shoot them. Always works. I'm out of here.
गंदा था मैंने
Switching sides.
I got her.
There. Fall back. Silence. No?
Don't resist.
Enemy spotted.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining. Diffuse. Keeping it safe to work. Match point.
Stump out their last breath.
This is gonna be fun.
The hunt begins.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Bring them down.
There. Cutting their vision.
This is less than I can.
Thank you. Last player standing. Clutch. What's up?
Careful here.
Who will heal their healer?
Nice job. Get out of my way.
इसे कैसे पता कि मैं यहाँ हूँ Axon
Spike planted.
You will not kill my ally.
Nowhere to run!
जी भाई
Spike planted.
Nailed him.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Where are you? There. Catch them. Come on, please. Defenders win. The nightmare is over. For them at least.
Routine inspections required. Thank you for your compliance. Threat neutralized. Confirmed.
Welcome to the protocol platform. Dispatched.
This unit complies with Protocol 781A.
If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly.
कैसे चल रहा है बंदा? कैसे बच्चों की तरह चल रहा है भाई? अरे गिराने में लग रहा है उसे। आए हाय गिरा दिया उसे बेचारे को। छी भाई गंदा प्लेयर। लॉल avoid the falling floor and throw blast balls at your opponents to win the ground. Okay. Blast ball and throw them to know. मैं मर गया भैया। भाई 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 यार लुढ़क गया भाई मैं। भाई कितना ट्रिकी सा है ये। लॉल भाई नाइस यार बढ़िया खेला। अरे मैं भी ऐसे ही गिरा, मैं भी ऐसे ही गिरा गुरु। मर गया अंडरटेकर। अरे यार अनलकी भाई। ले जा ले जा ऐसे, ले जा ऐसे, ले जा ऐसे, मार दे इसे, मार दे। अरे क्यों? अब इनमें वायदा बसड़ मचेगी। मुझे लग रहा है ये लुढ़क के आएगा इनमें से कोई ना कोई यूं ऐसे ही लुढ़क। अरे डायनासोर बन गया उसका, डायनासोर ही मर गया भाई। नाइस। और अरे इसमें तो शायद कूद कूद के आगे निकलना है गुरु। यस, बड़ा मुश्किल होगा ये तो पहली बार खेला है मैंने। अरे नहीं, इजी था ये तो, ज्यादा इतना मुश्किल नहीं था, लेकिन मतलब लेवल्स बहुत थे, नीचे ऊपर आप कई कई चीजों से पार कर सकते हो। मतलब आगे कूदते भागे जा रहा है। नाइस यार, वो नाइस, ये भी तरीका है। नाइस, ज्यादा नहीं मरे, इजी था ना। यार वो पुराने लेवल्स कहाँ गए? वो इतने अच्छे लेवल्स थे, अंडे चुरा के जाना और वो अलग अलग थे, वो क्लासिक थे भाई वो लेवल्स। वो एक दूसरे गोल में स्कोर करना, धक्के देना, रेस लगती थी बॉल की एक। भाई अब नए नए ऐसे अजीब अजीब से गंदे गंदे से आ गए। वो नाइस, ये तो वही है। चलो ये तो पुराना है। हट जा मैं। उड़ा गया भैया। नाइस। ये कौन नूब था जो गिर गया था इसमें? अभी तक तो पूरी स्पीड आई भी नहीं थी। जी इसी तरह तेज क्यों भाग रहा है? Bounce through the hoops to score points. Okay. मुझसे तो एक भी नहीं हो रहा। वैसे तो एक भी नहीं हुआ भैया। अरे अरे भाई ये भी नहीं हो पाया मुझसे इतना इजी। चलो अरे 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 मुश्किल था भाई। मैं तो पहली बार खेल रहा था, मुझे कोई आइडिया नहीं, बाद में फिगर आउट हुआ है। अरे यार लेकिन बढ़िया था, अच्छा लगा मुझे, मतलब इंटरेस्टिंग था। एंगल वगैरह लगा के सही करना वो था। पुराना अपना भाग और I am third. बंदे के मुंह पे बॉल लगी, बेचारा थर्ड आने वाला था, गिर गया नीचे। अरे अटक गए, अरे ये तो अटक गए तीनों। और जीवन की इनकी तो बच्चों के लिए तो बहुत प्यारा गेम है और बड़ों के लिए भी स्ट्रेस रिलीफ अच्छा गेम है। कौन ऐसा बंदा होगा जो फर्स्ट राउंड में आउट हो गया? इसमें सारे बताओ कैसे यार, सारे फर्स्ट राउंड में आउट हो गए। रेस थी ना, तो जो मेरी तरह जो तेज थे वो निकल गए आगे। By the moving doors and race to the finish line। ओ भाई ये भी खतरनाक लेवल है, इसमें एंगल मोमेंटम का खेल है इसमें। ये देखो बीमारी, और भाई ले ली भाई, ले ली। भाई क्लोज था, मैं 27 था भाई, अभी खत्म हो जाता। मैं इतना हागा मैंने, 27 था भाई मैं 30 में से। It's slime. Let's go. पुराने आ रहे हैं, बढ़िया है। लग गए। भाई
Found. 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 Found before the switch.
Go, go, go.
One enemy.
ओ ये क्या है? चलो भाई हो गया आज का 2.5 घंटा स्ट्रीम कर लिया, मजे आ गए। मिलते हैं अगली स्ट्रीम में, बाय बाय।